Hi, fans of high-quality entertainment. So I'm ranking and reviewing all of George Harrison's studio albums, his solo career. And up next is his second last, sadly, his second last album, studio album, Cloud 9. So I did buy this when it came out, and I enjoyed it. My absolute favorite song back then and still today is When We Was Fab, which might be the best. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. I think it's the best Beatles solo song that could have been a Beatles song. Even though it was, of course, made to sound like a Beatles song, kind of a I am the Walrus type song. And Jeff Lynne, of course, being such a big Beatles fan, and his production is of course all over this, but overall in a good way, especially compared to a couple of his previous albums production-wise. So, like I said, I did enjoy this. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I did really like this album when it came out. And then through the years, I didn't really pay much attention to it. So with doing these reviews, I had to play it, a few times. I played it probably at least 6-7 times. And every time I really enjoyed it. I don't think I changed my opinion on it after the, second listen. Because this is, to me, a great album. And especially, I noticed with George Harrison's vocals on the second song, That's What It Takes. It's just like we got the old George back. He just sounds so good, on the whole album, but especially that track. I love the opening track, Cloud 9, really kind of a funky vibe to it. Great guitar work by George and Eric Clapton, slide guitar. And the production, I was thinking, because I hadn't heard this in a while, like it's an 80s sounding album, which it is, but it's a good 80s sounding album. The only thing is, it's maybe a bit too perfect sounding, but that's, Jeff Lynne's production. What's that? What are my favorite songs? Well, like I said, my favorite song is When We Was Fab. And then everything is, just really catchy. Some upbeat songs for a change, really upbeat, especially Devil's Radio. And what memory I have of Devil's Radio, I loved that when I bought the album, when it came out. But it always bugged me. I don't think this came with lyrics, or I just ignore them. But I always thought the chorus said, Carson, Carson. And I'm thinking of Johnny Carson because I was a, pretty big Johnny Carson fan back in the day. Still am. But of course, they're singing gossip, which is makes a little more sense. So Devil's Radio, When We Was Fab, and even Got My Mind Set on You. It used to kind of annoy me, but I just enjoy it more. And like I've said in recent videos, these headphones are just so good. They're Philips open acoustic headphones. And so this just sounds really good, as does a lot of albums I play. And I love in the dedications, I had forgotten about this. I'll show you the booklet first here. Some people think that this is a cheesy album cover, but I don't know. I like it. At least he's smiling. Oh, he's not smiling there. where was I? Yeah, the dedication here, the credits. Special thanks to, and then he names a few people, including Bob Dylan. And at the end, John, Paul, and Ringo. So I thought that was kind of sweet of him because, especially with Paul, he didn't always get along with him. But they kind of, warmed up their relationship at least a bit. Yeah, Fish on the Sand. Just for Today is just gorgeous. Love that song. Breath Away from Heaven. Yeah, every song I really, really love. So I was very impressed with this. Finally hearing it again after a few years of kind of ignoring it. And so it's going into my rankings between the self-titled George Harrison and Wonderwall with a solid A at number 4. And I would love your thoughts on Cloud 9 in the comment section below. And next up is the final review for Brainwashed. And that's an album that I've listened to, but I need to listen to it more. And I do know that a lot of George Harrison fans think it's one of his best. And I'm not sure yet, but like I said, I need to listen to it a few more times. And then after that, I'm going to do at least a top 20 George Harrison songs from his solo career, because he's got so many great songs which I didn't realize he had. Maybe even top 25. Maybe top 50. No. So yeah, that's it. I would love your thoughts on Cloud 9 in the comment section below. And thanks for thanks for washing. Well, thanks for washing in case you're doing dishes or doing laundry. And thanks for watching also. Bye.